Greetings and welcome to Retention Chronicles, the podcast with learnings from expert e-commerce brands and partners. I'm Mariah Parsons.
And I'm Noah today. If you're here, you're either on a quest for e-commerce enlightenment or you accidentally clicked the wrong link. Either way, we're thrilled you've stumbled into our corner of the internet.
And hey, even if you're not on the e-commerce hype train, stick around. We promise it'll be worth your while. We've got pearls of wisdom for everyone, whether you're running a business or just trying to keep your houseplants alive.
Exactly. So before we unleash the brilliance of today's episode, let's give a shout out to our fantastic sponsor, Malomo.
They're the wizards behind the curtain, making the post-purchase experience smoother than a jazz solo.
Hit that subscribe button like it will increase LTV overnight, and check out our other episodes at gomalomo.com. That's GOMALOMO.com.
Get ready for insights, chuckles, and possibly a profound realization or two. Here's our newest episode of Retention Chronicles.
Emerson, so good to see, man. I mentioned it offline, but this is our third podcast recording in 3 days. So we're grinding over here, getting them out. Appreciate you taking the time. So this is our fourth ecosystem episode of the new year, and one that we're particularly excited about.
Long day.
Already, and it's 2:00. Geez.
Yeah.
We've got one of our newest and I think most exciting partners joining us today, Emerson Hammer, Director of Partnerships at Corso. As I mentioned, Corso is one of our latest integrations at Malomo, and it's one that our merchants are most excited about, one that our merchants have been asking about for a really long time. So we're thrilled to have Emerson here with us today. Thank you so much, man. Really appreciate you joining.
This is going to be a fun one. Yeah, we love Malomo. We love the synergies between what we're working on together. So should be a fun episode, hopefully, and getting some nitty gritty stuff.
100%. Yeah. And I think it even goes beyond the tech. I was bummed to miss the event in LA, but I know I was out there for that. Emerson hosted an incredible event. I don't know, Mariah, if you know much about that.
I was jealous. Believe me.
Okay,
I know. Yeah. As soon as I saw pictures, I was like, looked like a fantastic event.
Let's start there. Tell us high level what that was, because I think you're going to try to do it again this year, right?
Yeah. So I don't know. I feel like partnerships is a fun opportunity where Corso loves working with e-commerce merchants, Shopify merchants, and getting out behind the desk and actually meeting people in person. So we like to throw fun parties. I mean, I'm biased. I think we're some fun people. And so we like to get out and have fun with others. So we had a great time with the Malomo group and other partners in LA. We called it the Drip Trip, where we got a custom shoe designer to come out and we all made our own custom Nikes, Converse and stuff like that. So we had like around 40 or 50 or so people attend the event, and we just got to make some custom shoes and had a good time. But yeah, every month we try to do something new and fun and exciting. Last month we went down to San Diego, got on a yacht, had a yacht party, and stuff like that. In March, we rented out the Delta Center in Salt Lake, and we're doing a basketball tournament with e-commerce merchants, just balling, having a fun time. So we try to do fun activities to network in unique ways and have a fun time and build a community.
That's amazing. That is amazing. I feel like there's this whole other conversation around like event-led growth. I'm seeing that come more and more. And I consider like you guys, Corso, Inveterate's doing some amazing stuff with that too right now. But it's really cool to see, and obviously just makes the work even more fun than it already is. I think we're spoiled in e-com because we do have a hell of a time already, but there's some cool events in there, and it's just unreal.
Yeah, it's a blast. So yeah, we love doing more events. Try to do something every month, and just break the monotony of computer demos and go out and meet people. So it's fun.
Awesome. Well, that was a total tangent, but tell us a little bit about your background, Emerson. What you're doing at Corso now, and then we always like to ask also one thing that you're excited about in your personal life.
Yeah, for sure. So my background is in e-commerce supply chain. So before being at Corso, was at a brand called Nomadic, based out of Utah. Bags, luggage, travel gear. I was the first employee there, and it was a blast. It was a fun ride. We started off making wallets, so this little tiny like 3-ounce wallets, and then we got into luggage, which is like a 35-pound like shippable weight product that we would ship out. And so there's just a lot of nuances of changing from production from such a small item to such a large item, and then going from domestic to international shipping. I was in charge of overseeing manufacturing, overseeing warehousing, shipping negotiations, shipping rates, all that fun stuff. So we had warehouses in like 3 or 4 continents. And so I had a blast doing that. But when I was there at Nomadic, we saw some issues with our reverse logistics, returns, exchanges. We had some unfortunate issues with like our product having some defects on it. So we had some warranty claim issues coming up. So long story short, built a software that got acquired by Corso about a year and a half ago. And then part of that acquisition, we've integrated what Corso's main product offering is shipping protection. We protect packages that are lost, damaged, or stolen in transit. And so over the past year and a half, been integrating those tech platforms to work together more seamlessly and rebuilding some of those infrastructures to offer a complete post-purchase experience for brands. So that's my high level Reader's Digest version, a summary of what I'm up to, what I've been doing.
Yeah.
But yeah, I love geeking out on the non-sexy aspect of business is like a passion of mine. Like I read the USPS, like Delivery for America, like
Oh my gosh.
booklet, which is like a 30-page like booklet of USPS. And it's the funniest thing I've ever read. Like that's what I get kicks and giggles out of. So I love supply chain. I love understanding carriers and shipping. But some things I'm up to is my family. We just moved back to California from Utah a little bit ago, bought 2.5 acres, and I'm a wannabe farmer.
Okay.
Oh, it's like a dream of mine. So right now I'm this weekend I'm going and cutting little graftlings off of trees from some friends that have farms, and I'm starting my own little like 150 tree farm of different oranges, lemons, cherries, berries, stuff like that. So I'm my wannabe farmer phase is finally starting in my life, and I'm stoked for that.
That's exciting. That's exciting.
That might be one of the more unique ones we've heard. So.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, I'm one of those guys that's just like I'm not afraid to fail, I feel like. So like I was like, let's just try it. And if I kill all these plants, sorry plants, I did my best. But we're going
You
for
gave
it.
them life, you can take it out.
Yeah, exactly right.
Oh, that's awesome. Yao, our CEO, I don't know if he's told you anything about this, but he's kind of a wannabe farmer too.
Oh,
And
no way.
I don't know that he really has the land for it. Like he's got a good amount of land for,
Mhm.
especially for like a pretty metropolitan area, but
Mhm.
I would seriously doubt any of his other neighbors have chickens in their backyard.
Oh, I got a dozen, man. I love them.
So yeah, he's trying that. I haven't checked in with him on that.
I haven't
should
either since he sent it in the
like,
Slack. Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah, we should check in with him on how the chickens are doing. I kind of forgot about that, honestly.
that's awesome. Great reminder and great thing to be excited about. That's cool, man.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, let's bust right into it. So on this season, we're mixing it up a little bit. We want to get sort of more tactical, more in the weeds about something that you've seen e-commerce merchants either implement it with a lot of success, or you think that more e-commerce merchants should be thinking about and implementing. So I'd love to just turn it over to you, Emerson, and let you walk through something that you're seeing as a big opportunity for the e-commerce ecosystem today.
Yeah, for sure. Well, I think something that's happening a lot in the space is consolidation. Brands are looking to be more profitable and doing more with less. So I think as that kind of comes out into tech integrations is a huge aspect of that. And then kind of as I highlighted before, I love the non-sexy part of business. So if I'm getting too boring, like let me know. But I find this area of business super sexy, super fun. Um, and a lot of brands are focused on growth, which is great in the sense of acquiring new customers. But as you're focusing on this retention, that's a huge play that gets missed. And especially with reverse logistics is what we'll kind of highlight today, is what happens after a customer purchases. What kind of interaction are you providing with that customer? I'm not talking just like transactional emails or upsell emails, but making sure that flow of when a customer does have some type of hiccup in their process, make sure you're able to resolve that issue or concern quickly and effectively, and make it like an amazing experience for that customer. So that's what I kind of want to highlight today. You cool if I share my screen and kind of go over stuff like that? Is that what you guys want? All right.
Yeah, we're posting all of these episodes to YouTube and Spotify.
Sweet.
So we encourage the screen share. This is great.
All right, perfect. So what I'll highlight again, just to kind of recap what Corso does and how we help brands as a whole, where I think there's a huge misalignment in the industry of seeing the post-purchase operational expenses. Operations is always like a grudging aspect, I feel, when it comes to the P&L. It's such a cost center that brands see it when they're not seeing the revenue generation that you can create from it. And also just that retention plan, the customer satisfaction that comes from a good operation. And so first off, highlighting like the whole journey where Corso can begin and really facilitating that is where Malomo comes into play. Obviously, Malomo highlights some very key points of right once a customer purchases that order, you guys are providing great insights, updates, shipment notifications, and things like that to make sure expectations are aligned with the customer is key in creating a great customer experience. What Corso highlights is what happens in those instances where a shipment is lost, damaged, or stolen. Now, most brands may not recognize how big of an issue it is, or they're not really like finding a good way to classify or calculate how big of an issue this is actually causing them and how it affects their bottom line. I'm sure you guys almost see that all the time of just like, hey, this is an issue, and highlighting that probably for brands. So what we've done is we've created this integration with Malomo, where when a customer is tracking their order and something wrong happens to their shipment against lost, damaged, or stolen, they can, from their tracking page, report a product with an issue and a shipment with an issue. Now, what Corso does, again, we are a shipping protection agency. We want to protect those shipments. If something gets lost in transit or whatever, and a customer has ship protection on their order, we're going to repurchase that item at full retail value from the merchant. So the merchant's not out of money and the customer has a quick solution to their problem. We cover things from loss, damage, and transit, and also porch piracy, which is a huge one, and we see that a lot in the metropolitan areas. Most brands as a whole will see anything between a 0.5% up to 2 to 3% of orders will have some type of shipping issue correlated to it. And so if you're looking at that on your bottom line, anywhere between a 0.5% up to 3%, on average, it's going to vary by product and industry, but that's just kind of a standard industry average you'll see. That's affecting your bottom line. That's just revenue lost for whatever reason. And most of the time, the brand is eating that cost. And of course, we'd be like, hey, let's help you protect that revenue by offering ship protection at checkout with your customers. So this simple widget is going to help.
Emerson, couple questions there that I'm curious about. One is like, you said that most brands don't really have a good grasp on, how big of an issue this is for them.
Mm-hmm.
How would like if a brand hasn't ever thought about this before, like what would be a good baseline to try to figure that out? Like how much this is really.
Yeah. So simple, a couple ways to do it is if you're leveraging a help desk like Zendesk, Gorgeous, Remaze, anything like that, customer, just by using order tags, when someone's emailing in through your help desk, tag that order of saying like, hey, this was a problematic shipment issue is one way. Also within their Malomo dashboard, you guys provide awesome tracking and insights into that. You can pull reports from that to highlight, hey, these are problematic issues I'm having from those Malomo reports as well. And then depending on how integrated you are with your shipping carrier and how good of data you have, you can pull those Shopify reports to see repeat customers or repeat purchases that your team's either manually recreating on them to see if you have a certain CX person that's like, hey, entering that shipment in again to be reshipped out, pulled up from Shopify or from your WMS or your warehouse provider, and just kind of look at that data, say, hey, who's this person that keeps reordering the same product because it's most likely a misshipped or shipping issue problem to gather some data there.
Got it. Okay, that's great. Yeah, great way to get a baseline. And then if you don't have a tool like Corso, what you're describing is like most brands are just getting a support ticket created, seeing that come through that says, hey, I never got my package, even though it was delivered. So in that case, likely stolen. And the brands are typically just sending them a new package, just sort of like blind trust. Here you go.
It's blind trust. Some brands just say, hey, it's marked as delivered. Sorry, they wipe their hands clean of it. Kind of thing. So it depends on how the brand is operating. Again, we want to create a great experience for the customer, but we also want your business to operate profitably. And so what Corso does, it allows brands to offer this service at checkout to first off protect their package. We also combine it, which is called green shipping protection, is actual product name, where we also offset the carbon emissions of that package. We're calculating, hey, it's shipping from LA going to New York. It's a 5-pound package. Through our certified carbon offset calculator, it's saying, hey, that emitted 5 grams of carbon or whatever it was. And we have our offset program to do that as well. So you get we combine the kind of Corso mythology is combining these services to really complete the whole entire post-purchase experience to kind of think of all those things all in one and reduce your tech stack needs on that. And where Corso doesn't have the tech to support, or there's affiliate or partners to play with that help facilitate that, let's integrate and make it a seamless integration, which we've done with Malomo. Malomo provides great tracking, great customer insights and visibility into the actual shipment process and transit. And so we integrate there to make it super easy for customers to file those claims. We're not like a typical protection insurance agency where they're like, oh, cool, you bought this protection. Now let's make it super hard and all these hoops to jump through to file a claim. Like,
Yeah.
I'd say we're the best, worst business people out there because we make it too easy to file a claim. Again, we integrate with Malomo on this aspect of filing a claim within the tracking page. We integrate with Zendesk and Gorgeous and things like that. So if your customer support team's like, oh, that customer has shipping protection on it, let's file a claim for the behalf of that customer. It makes it super easy. We want to be as transparent as possible with our merchants and with our customers buying shipping protection.
Yeah. Yeah. It's one of the most amazing business models, I think, of any of the partners that I've worked with in the e-com space, because it really is like win-win-win. Win for Corso as a business yourselves, win for the merchant, and win for the customer, which is the ultimate goal, right?
Yeah, it makes it fun. And with our process of combining it all together, what a customer can do is if they have any issue post-purchase, again, we're talking about lost, damaged, stolen packages. If they want to return an item, they want to exchange an item, or they have a product warranty claim, something breaks, you have a widget, I don't know, you have like an iPhone case and they have like a 1 year warranty on it, and 6 months later it breaks. That's different than a return. You want to facilitate that a lot easier. And so what we've been able to do is combine all those different fragmented industries into one core concept of a platform to make it easy for customers to file those claims on. So essentially what's happening here is a customer can come into their portal, into their order number and email address, and pull up their order information. And either, hey, if I need to report a shipping issue, they can easily do that. Or if they need to make a return or an exchange, they can do that easily as well. And so
Amazing.
for us, again, is making sure that is a seamless experience. Now we're talking about this is where the retention play comes in, where they've ordered an item for whatever reason, that item did not meet their expectations. You don't want to just make it like super, you want to make it an easy, great experience for the customer, but you also want to continue selling your product and your brand the whole entire time.
Yeah.
This customer is on your site, they're looking at your products, they're looking at returning an item. Keep educating them on that product, on your brand, and see what you can do to upsell or keep that money with you. So you want to retain that money. You spend all that hard-earned money on marketing, getting that customer to your site. You have at your site right now. Let's leverage it. Same exact mentality of Malomo when they're tracking their order. They're on your site. They're looking at your brand. They want to know where their package is, but let's get some more messages to them of saying, like, hey, this is what our product offers. This is how we can help you, etc. So you want that messaging to be seamless and coherent before consistent across the whole post-purchase experience is what we're trying to do here.
Right. Yeah, I think that last point is super important. Like you said this earlier, Emerson, but kind of turning these things that have traditionally been thought of as cost centers into revenue driving channels, right? And I think for both of us, we talk and we think a lot about the fact that order tracking or shipping protection have traditionally just been thought of as, dumpster fires of money. In reality, they can be turned into, dumpsters of cash for a brand, so to speak. Like newfound revenue that just by taking back control of these antiquated experiences, not only provides a more orchestrated and cohesive experience across the entire customer lifecycle, which is super important just for brand consistency, but also is a massive opportunity to capture additional lifetime value in a time and place where customers are most excited or most anxious or most engaged with a brand.
Exactly. And that's what we're trying to do here through this return. I'll go real quick through this. When a customer is coming to return an item, you want to understand why they're returning it to first off not repeat that issue in the future of saying, like in this example, I'm like, hey, these are my item orders. These are items that maybe are marked as final sale in our platform. I won't allow them to return those items. So you have your own policy that you want to set up and make it super seamless for the customer. You also want to make some, I get this all the time, is when a brand is doing like email returns, you email like the brand and they say, okay, email us to get a shipping label, and then we'll email you the shipping label back. there's a lot of customer friction going back and forth between that process where they're like, okay, like most brands do that because they want to create some type of barrier where it's not super easy to make a return. And that's probably damaging your brand more than it's helping it. Is because you're causing that customer friction, but you're also making it very hard for customers saying, hey, in this example, I bought these tan shoes or whatever. I just ordered the wrong size. And
Yep.
so you come in, you can get the information, and you're like, hey, I ordered the wrong size. And then you can identify, we have like parent and child reasonings to get more granular into why. I'm like, okay, they were too small or whatever it was. And they say, I'm a size 13 or whatever it is. You're now gathering that data a lot easier than you are through emails back and forth. And then
Yeah.
you can just go in and I say, hey, our shoe sizing chart's off on our site. We need to do that. Or maybe like, hey, this is tan, you said, but it's actually more of like a brown or whatever. And
Yep.
so you can be more like specific on that to reduce the amount of returns you're getting. And then from there as well, you're like, oh, you just want a size 13? Okay, let's just let you exchange that right then and there. And this is reducing like 3, 4, 5 emails back and forth between the customer and your CX team that you've just streamlined, and the customer can do it just like that.
Yep.
So again, you're creating now that upsell opportunity. You're able to incentivize the customer to do that, and it makes it super easy and seamless. Another process that we've included into it is, say on this product, what's really unique about our software is you can have multiple return reasons within our dashboard, and have one customer that wants to do one product they want to exchange for and one they want to just return for whatever reason. Like, hey, I want to return it. I didn't like it. Item took too long to ship. Whatever the reasoning is too long to ship. Whatever their reasoning is, they can either again change if they want to exchange it. We're incentivizing that. If not, I'm like, I just want to return it back for my money back. And you can do two different things in that platform. What's going to be interesting for us is we allow you to then incentivize the customer. Like, hey, I'm going to return this item. We're like, hey, before you return it, if you return it, you might have to pay some return shipping fees, whatever you're going to process for your customer, you include that or not, or you can incentivize them. It's like, hey, don't return that item. We'll give you an extra $3 or whatever it is to incentivize that customer to take a gift card instead. And that's where the attention play comes in and it becomes an upsell. So this customer now is like, hey, I don't want to just return it and just give my money back to my original payment method. Let's keep that money with that store and create some type of incentive. Either it's a percentage of the sale, a fixed dollar amount, whatever that the brand wants to do. It helps retain that money with the brand, and keeps them engaged longer instead of just saying, hey, I want to return it. Maybe I'll buy something in the future, whatever it is. That's creating a lot of barriers to repurchasing when you do it through email like that. For us, we did that just like that in a heartbeat. This takes a customer 20, 30 seconds to go through this whole process in general. And so it's super seamless, super easy, and you're creating a great post-purchase experience for the customer.
Yeah. This is actually my first time seeing the Protection Plus returns combined solution. And that is
Really
so
cool.
sick. Yeah.
Yeah.
So seamless.
Emerson,
I'll
to
go.
your point as well, with like brands wanting to maybe add some increased friction for their customers to have a harder time to return something. I think it's also important to call out that that does cause more friction for the brand as well.
Mm.
Like their CX team now has to
Mm.
waste time in those like five, in your example, the 5 emails that, you know, you all are saving someone of having to get those details. Cause I think it's very easy to look and see like, okay, customers, how do we want to maybe like, why would you want to put a barrier up?
Mhm.
And it's so that you hold on to the revenue that someone is giving you. But I think sometimes brands who are looking at it that way aren't seeing the impact that it's having for their CX team, that they
Mhm.
also now have to go figure out the details, the time, and how they're gonna mediate to try and hold on to that good customer experience that they might have just gotten through implementing something like Corso, to then save the time and the efficiency.
Exactly. I think a lot of the I don't know, maybe it's I don't say a scarcity mindset, but it's more of like trust your brand. If you have a great brand, let the brand speak about itself. Like let your product speak for itself, and then have the tech to support it. And a lot of everyone in e-com, I think, has the fear of being burned because we've all been burned before. There's abusers of the system for sure. So you're gonna have those serial returners that just buy 30 products, return 29 of them for whatever reason. Like that's gonna be a thing. What we do is we allow the brand to set certain policies in it. So you can say like, okay, these items are marked as final sale. Make sure that's transparent first off in front, like when they're buying the item. So again, you want to make sure we're going through collecting that information of why customers are returning. Make sure you have great data on what customers are doing first off. to prevent issues in the future. And then also on that, make sure we want to identify some of those bad players. A lot of people with shipping protection, they're afraid of a customer always filing a claim. Like, did they actually say it was delivered? They said it wasn't delivered. Is that true? Or are they just like making this up? Okay, they've done that 3 or 4 or 5 times. Like, hey, this is something sketch going on. It's like, is that a shipping carrier issue or is that the customer issue? Like, what's going on here? So we do have checks and balances to look into those things, and either block those users or create better processes for those circumstances. But leverage the tech to give you that insight, because a lot of these scare tactics or things that people are fearful of, it's a small amount of the players that are actually doing that. So let's make sure we have process in place for that. Let's not be naive and like say it's not happening. It does happen. But let's make sure we have tech to support that instead of going off of a hunch of like someone might be able to take advantage of this in this situation. Let's make sure we have like process and procedures in place, but don't let that one or two like bad players affect the customer journey for the rest of your profile of your customers, right? And that's what we try to put in place and relieve those stresses and concerns for merchants to really help those customers that actually are acting in good faith and are actually great customers that you're having.
Yeah. I think it's awesome that you showed the suit shop example, because especially along the lines of what you just said, encouraging merchants to sort of leverage the tech, trust the tech. It's a lot better than just trying to like glean these insights from, cobbled together data sets. Suit Shop is like what I would consider, on the forefront of innovation when it comes to, they're an early adopter of tech. We would say they were one of the first to try our Loop integration. They were the first to try the Corso integration, and they saw great results as a result of that. I think, a little bit of a lesson there that is probably a tangent, but early adopters typically are going to get integrations or new features at a discounted price or for free, and they're going to get tremendous support, right? Because we want to know what your experience is like. We want to troubleshoot any sort of issues you run against, and we're building the integration with you in mind as the merchant. So I think Suit Shop is a good example of a merchant who has leveraged early adoption to their benefit and seen great results.
For sure.
Yeah.
And what I kind of highlight on that, I mean, early adopters, yeah, I mean, bless their souls. I mean, that is a fun realm to play in for sure. But what's great about where course we're kind of like breaking barriers and how the industry as a whole operates is, well, we just went through like our returns exchange module. I haven't gone into like our product warranty module and things like that. But when a brand uses shipping protection, what it is it's a widget at checkout that a customer can purchase shipping protection for their order. And when a brand opts into having that service, our returns exchange warranty module come included with that. So the brand can pay $0 out of pocket for shipping protection, a returns exchange and warranty platform for $0. And so it's an amazing offering where they're consolidating their tech and they're reducing drastically their bills in other aspects. So you're now not paying that 2 to 3% or whatever it is of your bottom line for reshipments going out to your customers. You're not paying for another returns platform bill, whatever that might be. You're able to streamline your warranty request items a lot easier and get better data to be like, hey, these widgets keep breaking 6 months after people are getting it. We need to work with our manufacturers or designers to enhance or improve the product and whatnot. And you're gathering all that valuable data. And what Corsa is able to do is we're able to offer that to our merchants for no cost out of pocket. Like it's an amazing model for them. So consolidate your tech, enhance your P&L. Give your customers a better customer journey. These aren't janky little solutions. Like these are full out built integrated solutions. And where Corso does well is we love the ecosystem, the Shopify ecosystem. We play nicely in the sandbox, I guess you could say, with other integrations and partners, leveraging the Malomo tech stack. It's a no-brainer to make it super easy for customers to be able to file a claim for a shipping issue within the Malomo dashboard. Again, we integrate with like Gorgeous and Zendesk. We integrate with all the major players in the Shopify ecosystem to unite it. Like there's areas like Corso focus on the customer post-purchase experience when something goes wrong. That's where our niche is. That's where we play really well. Let's use the other partners integration. So those tech stacks work well together, and it's not just like bolt-on janky integration. They're working really together seamlessly to create a great post-purchase experience for the customer, which again is going to create a happier customer, give you better retention plays, upsell opportunities, and keep goodwill and good faith with that customer throughout the whole process. So it's a fun area to play in for sure.
Yeah, super, super powerful. And I know for Malomo and Corso, Suit Shop was, I think, the first to give it a try. We kind of built an ad hoc integration for them. We've done that a couple more times, and now these merchants have seen such great results as a result of combining our solution, that we're building a productized integration. So very soon, hopefully by the time this episode airs, actually, virtually it'll be a one-click addition to add, or maybe not even a click. I think the idea is that if you have Corso package protection for an order, it's automatically going to show, file a claim on the tracking block, on the Malomo tracking block powered by Corso. So really, really awesome, seamless integration that provides that cohesive customer experience that you talked through, Emerson, which is super powerful.
Yeah, it's definitely fun. I love this space, and it's fun to, again, these are areas that brands don't focus on too much. It's not a sexy aspect. Everyone goes around saying, "Hey, we got our ROAS to X amount. Like we're hitting 3x, 4x ROAS. This is great." No one's going around saying like we went from a 10% return to a 9% return ratio. Like no one's posting that on LinkedIn. Like no one's saying that. No one's like, "Oh, dude, we went from like a 1% claim rate down to a 0.9%." Like what? Like no one's saying that. I love looking at that though, and it's something that brands they're a bit more timid because it's not a sexy aspect. It's not like they don't see it as a revenue growth opportunity, but it definitely is a revenue growth when you can upsell on it, and you can affect your P&L significantly by just shaving off like a percentage to 0.5%. Makes a huge difference on some of these brands.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Round us out by letting us know what types of customers Corso is a great fit for, and then where they can find you if they want to connect.
Yeah, for sure. Shopify brands, we do really well with brands that are doing at least around 500 minimum, at least 1,000 plus orders a month. It makes a lot of sense due to the volume you guys are shipping. We do really well in apparel. We do really well in cosmetics. We do really well in food and bev for our shipping protection product. We do really well with like apparel, hard goods, electronics, um, things like that for our returns exchange platform and warranties. So it kind of sounds like, hey, we can fit every type of product profile. We have a solution almost for every type of product profile you might be selling on Shopify. But really for brands that are really trying to provide a great customer experience. If you're kind of like a one and done knockoff type of brand, it may not be a great fit. It's for brands that look for great brand reputation, creating great experience. Is where we play really well with. So I know it's kind of generic, kind of like we can play with everyone, but we really can. We have solutions that help the Shopify ecosystem significantly. And to learn more, just come to corso.com. We have great information there, but I'd love to connect personally with anyone that has questions or concerns, and follow me on LinkedIn, just at Emerson Hammer on LinkedIn. And love to see what I can do to help you guys out.
Amazing. This was great, man. Thank you so much for the time. Excited to get this out. Mariah will let us know if we need anything from you to do that, but I think we're in great shape here. This was fantastic.
Sweet. Sounds good. Thanks for having me, guys. That was fun.
Thank you.